Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Weekly Whatever, our weekly show where we talk about whatever we want. Mostly Survivor, but keep stay posted. You never know, something might happen.
Yep.
This week, um, I'm still Chris.
I'm still Brad.
That's great.
Yep.
I was worried.
Me too.
Oh, you
Um.
showed up. Cool.
All right. So we're recapping last night's episode of Survivor, or 2 nights, depends on when I upload this. Episode 9. We lost Kelly Wigglesworth, one of the original players of Survivor,
Yes.
and we're gonna break everything down tonight. Talk over a big night for Stephen Fishback.
Every night's a big night for Fishback. It
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
since the merge,
He's
like
having a good time, or he's a
enjoyed himself.
little
I think.
anxious and panicky. A little bit of
Well,
both.
that too.
Yeah. So we're gonna break everything down from last night's episode. Before we do, make sure you hit the buttons that make you subscribe and like
Click
stuff.
them all,
Yep,
but don't click the ones that take you away from this page.
that's true.
Just
Unless they take you to Twitter or my blog, and then you can come back to the video.
I mean, I guess.
Or
Maybe just use the middle mouse button for everything, just so it opens up new tabs. I don't know.
yeah. Or you can just finish watching this or listening to it, and then do other things that are also all about Survivor
Get those stuff.
on other links. All right, let's talk about Survivor for something different. We did see Kelly Wigglesworth go home last night. We talked about this a little bit before we went live, but I felt this was a very strangely edited episode in
Yeah,
that.
leave a comment below if you cared that Wigglesworth is gone.
Yeah, we saw almost nothing from Wigglesworth
It
all
was a little
season,
unusual.
but we got maybe one confessional, maybe two. I don't really remember. I wasn't counting because I
Let's
didn't
call
think
it
she
three
was
just to
going.
be safe.
Yeah, I
But
don't think it
nine
was three.
episodes, I don't know.
Um, we yeah, we didn't really see much of her tonight, so it was weird when the target seemed to be squarely on her for this season when all we've had are people saying, yeah, this person's going home, and then about 10 minutes later, someone else goes home. In this
That's true.
episode, we said, okay,
It was,
Wigglesworth is going home, and then she did.
but in other cases where what you're describing as like someone's name gets thrown up and then someone else goes home, is it the same situation where it's quite as much of a gambit, or is it people saying, "I really like this needs to happen because oh my god, blah blah blah," and then it turns because of scrambling. Whereas this, she didn't even really know, and it was kind of like
Right.
play was more about the pitch than it was about the people who were involved in getting voted out.
Right. That's right. And that's kind of what I guess is weird about it. That it was more, is Fishback going to get his way or isn't he? Rather than, is Fishback going to go home or is this person going to go home? Kind of
Yeah.
like what we had in previous weeks. But hey, as a Fishback fan, I am fine with this episode.
Member of the faith.
Yes, I
Because the
am.
turning point was really just three dudes standing around the well, right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
managed to convince him. Like you see Jeremy at Tribal speaking Fishback's words.
yes. Talking about voting blocks.
We got to talk about voting blocks, man.
Let's talk about
Do
it.
you really buy into like the idea that not just now, but going forward in Survivor, like the game has changed and there are these blocks that get formed every week and they are going to change every time. And there are smaller cores within the blocks that move together. Do you feel like that's going to be a thing,
I
or do you think
agree.
that's
I agree that that's the case this season. I think that's a really difficult thing to expect brand new players that come into the game after this season to understand and just roll with.
yeah, it's very much a function of the fact that these people know New School Survivor backwards and forwards, and I think that calling it an evolution of the meta is not really accurate because
Yeah.
I don't see future seasons really flowing this way.
Yeah, I think what we have this season is a lot of people that all want to win extremely badly, and they all see a path for themselves to get to the end, and they're all planning ahead. Some more so than others, obviously, but on a season with all new people, they're just like, well, we have our five, and then when we get to the five, we'll figure it out. And there's always one person or two people in that they're like, yeah, I have sub alliances, but
Mhm.
not all five of those people. So in this season, we have everybody with their own plans. I think that's why we're seeing this.
Mm.
I don't think it can translate to future seasons. I wouldn't hate it if it did, but I don't
That
think
would
so.
be a big. They'd have to really focus on casting to make sure that it
Yeah, I
was
think that's a
translate.
lot to ask of
Yeah.
production and of the people that are going out there to play.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so let's talk about the move that Fishback made last night. He's very adamant he wants to get rid of Joe. Got to get rid of the golden boy Joe, the white whale that
Holy
is
Grail.
simply incredible. Uh, Joe
Nonstop.
he remains perfect in the immunity challenges. He wins for the third straight time, which is not unheard of, but that's very impressive. So he's still on his run. He can't get out,
Is that an
Joe.
Aussie thing?
A few people have done that. I think Ozzy has done that. He might have won four in a row. I know Wiggles won a bunch in a row. I don't know if it was four. She won
Mm.
four total. I don't know if it was in a row. Colby won a bunch in a row. You get guys like that. Like Mike, I think won five in a row last season to end it,
5 in a
or
row.
four in a row, or four with an immunity out, or something like that. He won a lot in a row.
Yeah, he
Um,
did.
yeah. So, but that is
God,
bizarre.
Scorpion Blitz.
Yeah. The
Anyways.
day one poison. Um, so Joe wins me again. Fishback needs to do something to weaken Joe. So he targets Wigglesworth, which I guess makes sense. They would know better than us, but we didn't really see much evidence of Wigglesworth and Joe being close until tonight,
Until
or
this
until that
episode,
episode.
yeah.
Just like, all right. I mean, I guess yeah, Wigglesworth is a threat. Sure, okay. What there's a lot here that he was trying to do. He teams up with the three witches, Wentworth, Sierra, and Abby. What do you think of just that without looking at the rest of it, just focusing on that part of it?
Fact that he was willing to work with them. Uh, it's tough. I mean, you really have to buy into the fact that voting blocks are real and the other people in the game aren't going to hold it against them horribly. That they kind of just abandoned that core
Right.
nine.
Yeah. And I think
And I don't know.
that's dangerous. I don't
Yeah.
I think somebody like Keith, okay, whatever. Uh Tasha's maybe a
That's just
little
gonna be
bit tricky.
pissed.
Yeah, and
Jeremy? Yeah. Because
yeah.
they're like
Yeah.
ion peeps, man.
Yeah. I agree. I think Kimmy, I don't know how she's gonna take it. She'll probably be very upset.
Probably.
Because I know she was tight with Wigglesworth and she was lied to by her alliance. So it's risky just in working with the three people that everyone is supposed to be working to get out.
That's why I didn't expect Jeremy to buy into it. I thought he would have been able to convince Fishback that it didn't make sense
Yeah,
right now.
I think I don't know, and I obviously I don't know, but I would think that Jeremy would plan to just say to these people when they get back, "Hey, this was Fishback's plan. He's going crazy. I just needed to, put his mind at ease, let him get one through, and then, if you're mad at him, hey, it was his idea. I
That
don't
was
know if
pretty
he can
funny.
pull that off
Yeah, I don't know.
because he's Jeremy. He's clearly in front of everything. Um, but
Do you think it was a bad move for him?
um, no, I don't think so. I think because Jeremy specifically has two idols. Now
Well,
we can talk about that because he's insane. He has two idols. I don't think it's that bad because he's keeping Steven right right beside him. He's right in his pocket. He's bonding tight with Spencer on that move.
mm,
Um and he's only, I mean, he's burning Wigglesworth, but eh.
Eh.
And I think there's still a very clear path to the end for Jeremy.
Hmm.
Yeah, but okay. I just I for the working with the three, it really scares me for Fishback to go to the three witches and all of them really, um, because they could so easily, as we have seen this season, it's all voting blocks. They could so easily just flip it on them.
Hmm.
Next, there's no allegiance now. They don't have to work together in the future, and everyone knows that, sure, but it's really risky to keep leaving them in the game.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks in a row that all three of them have just gone through unscathed.
Okay.
Um, from Fishback's point of view, do you think it's a good move? I mean, is
I
it putting
think.
himself
I mean,
too much in front?
I think he wants to be in front. He wants to build his resume, as Tasha put it. He really wants to be able to point at specific events in the game and say, "I did that. That's why I deserve
Right.
the title." You know?
Yeah. I think it's interesting because by doing that, he's putting a huge target on himself that I don't think has to be there for him to survive for a little while.
Mm,
But at the same time, he has to do something, or else if he does get to the end, he won't win. So I'm kind of torn because I think he's playing too aggressively right now for the amount of people left in the game. But at the same time, he's building up a nice resume that if he does get to the end, it's like, yeah, I went after Wiggles. I was going after Joe, couldn't get him, got rid of Wigglesworth. If he can get Joe, that's him as well. But man, like I don't know who are people thinking he's coming after as soon as Joe's gone. I think we talked about that last week. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's really making me nervous with the how aggressive he's being and how out there he's putting himself. I don't know if he can play the out in front game the same way that someone like Jeremy or Joe can.
Yeah.
And Joe really can't play it because he's clearly a target and everyone's just gonna vote him out if he doesn't win immunity. So it's a tough spot to be.
You
And
gotta have a lot more charisma than
yeah,
just.
you need to be Boston Rob or Kim Spradlin in order
Mm,
to really pull that off. Uh, and there's not too many of those people. All right. Let's talk a little bit about Jeremy, as we already have a
yes.
bit, but let's talk about that idol.
Fat idol number two. So good.
Two
This is
idols.
exactly what I wanted. We talked about it, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know what I want? I want two fucking idols for Jeremy. Spencer would be cool, but no. Jeremy needs two because it's just so good when you have two. Because it's gonna be so exciting to see what he does with the first one. Because he can
Yes.
play it a lot more loose,
Yeah.
and that can make it a lot more fun as
Yes.
a viewer. So I am very excited.
Yes. I like the prospect of playing an idol to make a big move to save someone in your alliance or something along those lines. And then at the next tribal, everyone thinking you're screwed now because you don't have safety, and then playing the second idol to save yourself.
Yeah.
Just baiting people into that. I think that's really exciting. Yeah. What did you think about how they hid the idol itself? Like before, we were seeing them. Okay, the idol is hidden in an immunity challenge. You find a
It was
clue,
weird.
and then yeah. So what they did this time is now they're hiding it at night. You just have to go fucking walk to it. Um, I it was weird.
Why not just give it to him when he found like the clue? I didn't see like there wasn't that much opportunity for him to get caught there. It was kind of just like everyone's asleep. All right, I'm gonna go take a dump, and then he like goes and gets the idol.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what I don't know what the point of it was. And I mean they clearly couldn't have hidden it at the immunity challenge when they're all standing on
Well,
the whatever it is, platform in the floating water. Um so I don't know what the point of making him go walk in the dark is.
mm,
Um I don't know.
yeah.
But I'm happy that he's got two idols. I'm a fan of Jeremy. I'm mostly a fan of Fishback, but hey, two idols for Jeremy is still good.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm really interested to see what he's going to be able to do with that. But I am more interested to see
Oh
what
yes.
Fishback, and we're not done talking about him. It's the fucking whole episode. It's going to be Fishback and Jeremy. Uh, an
Hey, those are our picks,
advantage
man.
in the game. That's right. Day one. Or you changed. You
Not day
just
one.
halfway. Well, okay, you're day 6. Whatever it was. Fishback wins an advantage in the game by jumping out of the immunity challenge and racing Spencer to a
Swimming
buoy.
for his life. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
And
love that it was the two of them though. Like that. That just makes it seem so right. That it
yes.
would be the two of them.
I I love I agree, and I think it's even more perfect that Spencer just ever so slightly loses because that's just him on Survivor.
Yeah.
He's always oh so close. I just can't get it. I love that. All right, so the advantage that Fishback wins in exchange for giving up immunity is a vote stealer, which is different from what Dan had last season, where he had 2 votes. Now
Mm,
Fishback gets to take someone's vote. They don't get to vote, and now he gets to cast a second vote. Is that
pretty
right?
crazy.
I think
Yes,
that's right.
he does.
Okay, that's that's
It's unreal.
intense. Yeah.
That's like it's essentially 2 votes.
Mhm.
As long as you pick the person correctly, it's 2 votes.
Right. Which I don't think should be too difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to fuck up. I feel
Yeah.
unless it's really murky, in which case you should just hold off.
Yes. Um. Yeah. It's a really powerful tool. I don't know how you use it effectively. Um.
Use it when you're on the bottom.
When is he going to be on the bottom?
Well, I mean, I'm not
I
saying he will be at some
right.
time soon, but I'm just saying like it's designed for someone who's on the bottom.
Right.
That's when
Okay.
it's gonna be most potent.
Right. Yeah. It's meant to make a big move and just yeah bust something
Like
out
if
of tribal.
Wentworth got that, then she would
That'd be
have a
crazy.
field day with it. But
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um. Yeah. Like my first thought was, okay, he could use it if he can get to a point where he needs to turn on Jeremy.
ooh.
But then I'm just like, well, he has to stand up and say, I'm using my advantage and I'm taking Jeremy's vote or something like. And so Jeremy's like, what the fuck? And now he knows that Fishback's coming after me, just busts out an idol. So I don't see how he could use it for that. If
Oh,
right, like the
interesting.
idol is still way more powerful because the idol comes out after.
It's true. It's very
Um,
true. Wow. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that. That's cool.
and his other big target is Joe, but if Joe doesn't have immunity, everyone's voting for him anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't need it to take out Joe.
Right.
So he's gonna save it for whoever the fuck his
Right,
vote is. Like we don't even
exactly.
know. Does he even know at
I
this point?
I don't know. I really don't know. I want Joe to go away so I can find out what else is going on in the game because all we know is fuck Joe. That's literally it.
It's true. That's
um yeah, but so I mean it's an interesting power and I'm way more excited about this one in his hands than I was about Dan having 2 votes
fucking
because
damn.
Dan just played 2 votes and then got idled out of the game in the same
Damn.
tribal. It's like, well, you know, I I
Yeah.
just yeah.
Why are we talking? Who's Dan?
Dan,
I don't
he
even know who
doesn't
that is.
exist. Yeah, that one time.
I don't remember anyone named
I like that. I understood that reference. Um, all right. I don't really have too much more on that. I just think I'm really excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's just these huge moments that we know are coming.
Yeah, yeah. 2 idols and
Very
this
exciting.
advantage still in the game. Cool.
And in like the hands of awesome people. You know?
Yes, 2 best people still in the game, in my opinion. Okay.
Were you scared that Abby was gonna win immunity?
That
Like,
was like, what the hell was that?
yeah. I didn't even. I wanted Joe to win. Like I didn't want him to win going in, but when it was just him and Abby, I was like, okay, just take it, Joe. Screw Abby. She's awful.
Oh man. Has Abby had a confessional in the last like 3 weeks?
Wasn't she? Did she talk directly to the camera about how she saw Joe wandering, or was she talking about?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she did. Joe was looking for the idol and she was
Yeah.
like talking to Sierra. It's like, I
I was
just saw
like,
Joe
shit.
talking to the or looking for the idol. It's like got him. It's like, what?
I know.
Like everyone's looking for the idol. Why aren't you looking for the idol? What are you doing?
She's locked in, man. She's got
Um,
third place
she
locked
yeah,
down.
it's 100%. It's gonna be Fishback, Jeremy, and Abby.
Oh god, that'd be cool.
Yeah, damn.
Or Spencer.
Or yeah, I'll take Fishback and Spencer.
No,
Fishback
I
will
said
win that
poor
every day of the week.
Spencer,
Oh,
but
poor Spencer. I said or Spencer. Poor, yeah, Spencer won't make it.
yeah, he's not.
He won't. He won't go that far. I think once Joe's gone, it'll be probably
Spencer and
Jeremy
Joe.
and Spencer. Yeah, as the target, the prime,
That makes sense.
the most physical guys still in the game. I
I
don't know.
think, yeah, I think Spencer would be a good target for Fish just because he's been doing really well in challenges and he obviously has a brain.
Yeah, he did just vote with him. He's not an
Yeah.
alliance; it's a voting block, but he
Yeah.
did just vote with him. So there's some trust there, which is good. But
Make it easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because Kimmy's close to Wigglesworth. I'm just like thinking, why are they not telling Kimmy when like those were the three? They were the pure Bions was Fishback, Jeremy, and Kimmy. So I don't know what
Mm.
happened there, but I guess it's just because of her affinity to Wigglesworth.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't really have too much else. Joe's amazing. He won immunity. We just talked about
Still
that.
amazing. Yep.
He's incredible. Three in a
Smile on
row.
dad.
Yep. I'll take your word for it. Uh, 7 more immunities to go for Joey. Amazing.
7. That's all?
Yeah, he's almost
If it's a
there.
final 3.
Home stretch. Yeah, if it's a final 3,
If it's a final 5, it's a lot less.
that's well, it's 2 less, but that's a lot, I guess. I was a little surprised that they didn't include balls. Maybe they should have been standing on that thing floating in the
Yeah,
water, supporting balls on a disc
that would be a lot better on your head.
on your head. Yes, while stacking coins on a sword.
Oh god.
All right.
Wait, question for you.
Oh, hit me
You
with it.
mentioned that next week might be a double episode. Did you
Yeah,
confirm
two
that?
out two. I haven't confirmed it. I don't know. I hope it is. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think they have to at some point.
Mm.
I believe next week is a double boot, and I believe it's 2 hours. But
DDS.com.
I
What
can't
information
confirm
do you
that.
have for
Yes. While you're doing that, we can talk about what we saw next time, potentially in that 2 hour episode.
me? Okay.
So we saw in the preview that it's raining a fucking lot and people are miserable. And
True.
then at a challenge, they're going to be able to make a decision, and we saw everyone getting rocks and whatever. Uh, so this my question: what is the decision they have to decide? First, is it an immunity challenge or a reward challenge? And are they deciding to compete or eat or get some kind of comfort like a tarp or something like that for themselves? Because it's an individual decision, which
Solo tarp.
I don't understand. They get like a snuggie or something like that. I don't understand how that works. Or and we talked about this last night. Are they getting like emotional comfort? Are they gonna get like a letter from home? Is that what they're swapping out
I think that makes the most sense. Yeah. More likely it would be immunity if that was the case,
for? Yeah,
because I seem to really enjoy the whole safety versus X thing. Safety
yeah.
versus an advantage. Peanut
Now,
butter. I don't know.
right. Okay, my question to you then is, and I know you're probably not looking at a picture of the cast list like I am right now, the people that are still in the game.
True.
Uh, who do you think would sit out if it's a letter from home? Who is so confident that they don't need immunity
uh, Okay, let's think about who didn't put their hand up when Jeff asked who is shaking in their boots right now. Spencer didn't put his hand up, but I think he would still
Didn't he?
hint. He didn't put his hand up.
I thought he did. Okay.
Yeah, he made a comment about how you're looking at people who are willing to admit in front of their alliance that they don't feel safe, and for some reason he didn't want to do that.
All right. I'm with it.
So who I don't even know who said they
I
felt safe. I
I
mean,
think
I guess Joe,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. I think Jeremy I don't think Jeremy put his hand up.
Hmm.
The three witches all put their hands up.
Yeah.
Fishback put his hand up.
Yep.
I think Wigglesworth did as well, but she's gone, so she doesn't matter. Other people, Keith, Tasha, Kimmy. Those are the other three.
Oh, yeah. Those three probably didn't.
No, I don't think so.
I could see Heath getting a letter from what's his face.
Wes,
Yeah, him.
the Wes Nail virus.
What?
Their last name is Nail.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
People
Um,
actually call him that.
I don't know. Just I call him that
That's
when I
pretty
talk
good.
to him.
You text him.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what's good, V? Because it's short for virus.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna elevate it. We're descending, but we're gonna bring it back up.
Okay, I'm
Uh,
excited.
Tasha. Do you think she would? Probably she would feel fine to read the letter. A
Yeah,
letter. A
it's yeah,
theoretical.
it's interesting because I'm like Tasha would she's gonna compete. She's not gonna sit out. But when you're talking about a letter from home, it really changes things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So, okay, let's ask who has received a letter from home? Who's made it that far in the game to know how much that changes things for you? Because I'm sure there are people in the game right now who haven't. Abby probably hasn't.
I don't think Joe had. No, Joe definitely did not. We just
Well,
saw the
Joe's gonna
season.
compete regardless.
Yeah, he has to compete. That's a good point.
Mhm.
Fishback would have. I don't know. See the thing. I don't even know if they always do letters. I don't remember.
Hmm.
In every season, if they
I
do
guess
letters,
sometimes they do like the phone
they've done that,
videos.
and then they. I mean, they almost always do the family visit, but that's much further in the game
Yeah.
than letters typically. But it's very specific to the season. So
Hmm.
Jeremy was right after the merge.
I wonder who would write him a letter. Who does he really, really like in the world? I don't know.
Is it the guys at his fire station? Because he's a firefighter. I
Maybe.
don't know if you know that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Blowing my mind right
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, I like Jeremy, but
Jeremy's pretty great.
Jesus. It's just like you can count on Joe being amazing and Jeremy talking about Val every episode.
Yep.
God damn. All right.
That's actually one of my bullet points. Is how much is Joe amazing?
So amazing. He like these challenges that he wins. They're all carnival games. They're not things you can practice. Like he's not at home being a professional balance a ball on a disc guy.
Hey
That's
man,
not a
he's got
thing.
no collar. Okay,
That's
he does what he wants. He goes where the
that's his
wind
secret.
blows.
Yeah. Everyone else was doing research on people watching past seasons, except for Savage. He
Reading
was reading
Wikipedia.
wikis. Um, and, and Joe's at home bouncing balls on discs, and Keith Nail's just like, no, close your eyes, feel the ball.
God damn it.
Descending. Uh, Can were you able to figure anything out on CBS about next week's episode?
No, I do not see anything about next week
All
or
right,
length.
all right. But we gotta assume that at some point there's still 10 people in the game.
Reload, man.
10 people in the game. So you got to get rid of a couple at some point. You can't go into the finale with 7 people because it's not a final 5. And
Yeah,
yeah.
probably not.
That would, oh man, the season would take such a nosedive. They would never do that.
No, they wouldn't.
I don't even think they do 4. I don't think they would.
No, they wouldn't. No,
Don't mess with the end of the season format. That stuff's okay.
final 2, please.
Take it to a final 2. I would love a final 2. Unless Fishback gets clipped at 3. That would piss me off. That would be
That'd be
so
so sad.
He's got like this incredible resume, and then Kimmy and Abby clip him at 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds awful.
that does sound awful. I don't want to watch that finale. Oh my god. And the winner is no one. The jury all went home. All right, I think we did it.
I think that was
I
a
think
successful
I
episode.
think we made it. We have said nothing of value for the last 4 minutes. So,
Nuggets in there.
yeah, you know,
Maybe.
that's really the theme of the show for us. It's
Nuggets.
just a few good nuggets sprinkled in,
Yeah.
some, you know, other stuff.
Sounds
Yeah.
okay.
All right. Well, we did it. This is episode 9.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about?
What didn't we talk about?
The challenge, the reward challenge, and how much of a spectacular fail it was. What do you think happened there? I have no idea. Like when they were putting in the ladder, not the ladder, the stairs.
Stairs. Oh yeah. They're so dumb. I see it as like it's not a difficult thing. The poles, you can look at it and be like, "All right, this pole is longer than this pole. If it goes in and it's too high or too low, you can make a pretty quick adjustment." I feel. And they struggled for so long. That's just all I know is Jeremy was on that team. I don't remember
Yeah.
who else was on that team, but
Keith Nail.
did a bad job.
Yeah, they did.
I know they didn't have Joe, so they were fucked anyway.
Kimmy, Wiggles, Wentworth, and Keith Nail. Yeah.
All right. It's not a great team.
No. Did they do a pick? A
They,
schoolyard
they
pick? for
did a
this?
school year pick. They even told us who the captains were. Wigglesworth, I believe he said was a captain, and Tasha was the other captain.
Huh.
Yeah. And we don't normally get to hear who the captains are. As soon as they're like, we'll do a schoolyard pick, one of you won't get picked, I'm like, Abby, 100% not getting
Yeah, I know, right?
picked. Yeah.
That was.
Oh.
I thought she was gonna complain for the rest of the episode.
That's all
I
we
thought
were going to hear.
that shit, but
Oh, man. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
would have
I'm
been
sure
good.
she did complain, and we just didn't hear it.
Oh, certainly.
That's
Why didn't anyone pick me? Yeah. But she's a useless challenge competitor. And then, unless you have to stand and do nothing, then she's really
yeah,
good.
She can really just
Yeah.
stand there
Only Joe is better than her.
and standing
Yeah. God
there.
damn it. All right. We officially did it.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
time it's real.
Okay.
You can
it's
actually
real.
go now, people.
Get the
As
hell
long
out of
as you
here.
have liked and subscribed.
Yeah. Make sure
and
you hit the
commented down below.
buttons. Yeah.
But how
And
how
write us
hard it was to sit through that whole thing.
write us a 5-page essay explaining how painful that was for you, just emotionally.
He's you know, the hamburger getting middle and end.
Be
Cut
sure
it off.
be sure to use the hamburger. We'll see you next week for episode 10. Bye, guys.